Hey, this is about how to ask better questions so you don't end up wasting money on stuff you don't really need. It's been my experience that a lot of products, courses, trainings, services masquerade, pretend, or even attempt to be the answer to your questions, or to answer your questions, or to fill your needs. I'm going to show you a process that will help make sure that you only really get yourself into stuff that's actually useful for you. And it will do this by helping you clarify what you actually want, what you actually need, what's actually useful, okay? And in doing this, I'll be using a process I actually personally use in my coaching practice and in doing consultancy work with various high caliber individuals and organizations worldwide. And it's a two-step thing that's actually one step. Let me explain. When asking better questions, or learning how to ask better questions of yourself so that you're clarified by the time you present what you actually need to the world, or when you actually see if what's being offered fits or meets the need that you've actually crystallized that you want. So it's a process of clarification. It's a process of removal of what you don't want so you get more of what you actually want. And it involves a couple of things. First is a modifier and a deepener. And if this helps any, this process is derived from more than a dozen years of really integrating NLP, neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and coaching. So this is a process that's modeled from processes of excellence that I've seen and modeled from masters worldwide, and two parts. And please don't look it up as exactly this, because this is my process, the way I use it, and I tend to use it in a rather simplistic way. Because, well, simple works best when you want your head clear and able to see what's actually in front of you. So, two parts which are actually flip sides of each other, a modifier and a deepener. The modifier goes kind of this way. What specifically, or exactly, or actually are you looking for? That's a question for the modifier. So what specifically, actually, or exactly do you want? What specifically, exactly, or actually do you need? And you don't have to say all of those things. So you could just go, what specifically do I want out of this interaction? What specifically do I want to get out of this coaching session? And the deepener would be a flip side of the modifier. It goes this way. What else? And that's it, and every variation of that. So it could go, what else other than that, if not that? And these are just deepeners. They enable us to get more juice out of our questioning of ourselves and of others. So, by example, you could ask, what specifically will I get from Strixa's coaching for getting clients? What exactly am I hoping to get? What actually is it that I'm looking for to have happen in my world? And to extract even more from that, what else would I like to get from this course with Doc Strix? Other than that, what else do I need to get from it? Other than that, what would really prove useful and would move the needle on my affairs and would make my life better and would improve the lives of those around me? Yeah, you following so far? Good. So when we're talking about the modifier, the what specifically, okay, I tend to use an axis which I call the Ibiza axis, and this is one variation of the Ibiza axis. I tend to look at insights and identity, beliefs, skills, and action. IBSA, Ibiza. And I use it as a set of contextual parameters, in this case, that fits into the what specifically and the what else. Let me demonstrate. Let's use the context of me being a coach for coaches or a consultant for coaches for consultants for therapists? Okay, so let's say I'm a coach, a consultant, or a therapist, and let's say I'm hoping or intending or declaring that I want to help coaches, consultants, or therapists get more clients. So at the identity level, the fit or the who we're starting with or the identity we're looking at is either a coach, a consultant, or a therapist. And I'm just fitting these in so you have an idea of scope, but you could just say coach and that's enough, or therapists or hypnotherapist, by example. So let's try that. Modifier, what specifically? Okay, so I am a coach that helps therapists, in this case, hypnotherapists. I'm a coach that helps hypnotherapists who have the belief that they have no clients. Well, wait, this may or may not be true, but we'll find out if that's true, and we'll find out what the barriers are if we put that supposed problem under belief. Okay, so identity, coach, consultant, therapist, or hypnotherapist, or some form of practitioner. Okay, that's the identity. Belief, no clients. And further down the chain, IBSA, identity, belief, skills, action, has the skills, and then action, has tried to get clients but could not. Does that kind of make sense? So what specifically is the problem? Let's role play. What specifically is the problem? Oh, I'm a hypnotherapist and for some reason I can't get clients despite the fact that I have the skills, I have the training, I have the certification, and I've done, to my knowledge, the marketing, the getting in touch with people, and still I can't seem to get clients. Is this kind of making sense yet? Okay, and let's look at this longitudinally. Under the modifier, there's a context, and within the context, there's a problem and there's an outcome or a transformation. You're looking at where you're starting and where you'd like to go, or where your client is starting and where your client would like to go. In this case, my example, hypnotherapist with no clients. Oh my, that's gotta be painful. And the outcome is a hypnotherapist worth his salt or her salt, who can actually do good and knows how to do good, finding or managing or creating a way so that he or she has a self-sustaining practice. Let me say that in another way. I, role-playing, help hypnotherapists who can really help. They have the skills, they have the talent, they have the commitment, they have the desire, they have the passion, they have the love for the patient and the outcome, who don't have clients. Get to the point where it's easy and sustainable for them to have clients. So I take a good hypnotherapist and help them create a living for themselves doing what they love. Kind of making sense? Yeah. So I took someone from problem to transformation or outcome. So let's recap. What you got is a way for asking better questions so you know if something is worth your time. In this case, we looked at products, courses, trainings as an example. And what I introduced to you are notions which help you process if you're coming up with a concrete or usable or realistic question. And these include a modifier, a deepener, context, and the flow from problem to outcome or transformation. Making sense so far? And the modifier I introduced is to ask specifically or variations thereof, specifically, exactly, actually. And this helps clarify or crystallize what you actually want so that you can remove the stuff you don't actually want or need so that you ask better questions. So this is what I want. I want to become a hypnotherapist who actually gets paid handsomely for doing work I actually love to do. Clear, right? And then the what else? Without having to waste all of my time advertising or posting left and right on social media without having to set up web pages and without wasting my time on clients who actually turn out to be huge headaches. And quite surprisingly, there are those. So I hope this has been a useful example. And to recap the contexts I haven't used, there's insight or new thought, identity. This is the Ibiza format. So insight or identity, beliefs, skills, action. And you look at that cluster to see if it's actually a fit. And you look at the transformation from problem to outcome, what you're stuck with and what you want to become. And I hope this is making sense so far. And I'd like to examine that one thing I made commentary on just before we go. That thing about belief. The thing about belief is why I put the notion of no clients under beliefs. It may or may not be true. You see, maybe the clients are there, but you just don't know how to tap them. It may be that there are actually no clients, or maybe that you just don't believe in your ability to get clients. Let me say that in a different way. The belief marker or nexus along the Ibiza axis speaks of the 3 belief milestones or markers that a person has to go to or to go through in order to resolve that they believe something. You see, the only 3 belief reasons why a person won't buy a product or a course is that they don't believe you, the seller, they don't believe themselves, this is surprising, or they don't believe the product you're selling. And if you resolve that for yourself or for your client, you've got the belief part handled. So I hope this has been more than useful. And if you want to take this further, this understanding of how to ask better questions so that you don't waste your time, money, attention, energy, or your clients. So you can ask better questions so that you enjoy your life better without wasting your time on stuff you don't like, need, or which don't benefit you. And if you found this useful, what I'd like for you to do is consider doing coaching or consulting with us. We can do individualized or group trainings. And if this is something you're really interested in, especially if you got a lot from this, look us up at, send us a line, send us an email at 4h4h for hotel 4h.marketer@gmail.com. That's 4h.marketer@gmail.com. Cheers.